side defuse kit for Exist with a HE grenade. No smoke to go for that defuse, and something's north. It must be straight out hut here.
Twist already on top of it. Excuse me, JW on top of it. Twist on the ground. JW gets the one who kills his teammate, but it's too late. Drops in, wants another. He's run out of ammo. Surely he goes down. It took some time. No, he didn't. How did he stay alive at the door? We missed it because there was action elsewhere. He gets one back, but that is all. And Brolan is now against 3. They know he's low, and they're going to chase him down to take the fight. Don't trip over each other, boys. Smoke it off. They want to go lower. They don't know that he's low. I think you just brawl that.
Playing it very safe here, aren't they? They had him trapped to either come out squeaky door or hard, and now he gets a chance to rotate around to ramp. This is longer range duels, and he has this USP. Could find KD in here. He's done some damage now the rotation comes on in.
Yeah, they know, or he knows rather, that they were late because they weren't there to take the first fight, but the triple face, that's all that they needed to do at Squeaky, should they have known. It's still going to work out for North, so it's 1-0 for the T side.
It's good to see them go aggressively there. It means they're not playing scared, right? Because in certain situations, in a 3v1 in that scenario, like, well, we'll just hide, wait for him to defuse. But they didn't need to. They knew exactly where he was. Everybody was congregated together. They could have saved KD, which they did. Step out as a unit, take him down. And fnatic are going to respond quickly with a force buy. Twist is going to have a scout in his hands, a little bit of nades behind him. JW with a shotgun, of course. And CZ75s for the other 3 members on the team. Just note, 4 smoke grenades. They're going to be able to lock out some choke points here for a relatively long period of time. Oh, the shotgun at ramp.
Yes, sir. JW's got one with it. Ramp, not hut. Typically, that's where we see the shotgun when it's brought out on nuke. Kirby's going to hang around up the stairs, just throw out some utility, delay anyone that wants to come back through Turnpike, Speedway. KD, meanwhile, takes down Crims. That holds off the stairs lower. Control room. And Exist goes over toward Decon, and he'll work his way back in with the CZ75. He's going to try and time this with the bomb plant.
2 players very low here, just to note. KD and AZ, both on 10 HP.
And if Kirby goes for that bomb plant as a result, and decontamination is not cleared, if he drops him, that becomes a problem, because Volda's also tagged down now to 41. So they're not out of the woods just yet.
I think one of their saving graces here is that Twist does have the scout, right? To hit shot, sure, it does a lot of damage, 70 to the body. Oh, really overlooked it. Yeah, it was just a matter of time. They went prodding for kills, but maybe they could have waited for that plant. Maybe they didn't know how low KD and AZ
That's
were.
An ace, by the way, for KD.
Easy.
Gets an ace, and he had 10 HP for the last 2, so not too bad. Mac 10 ace?
6-0.
He's $7,400, 6-0.
And that force by now.
That also means, hang on, we've had 2 types of aces in the first 2 rounds, because that means it was a team ace in the first one. If he's 6-0 and everyone else has 1 kill, that means in round 1 we get a team ace, and in round 2 we get a KD and ace.
What type of ace can we get this time around? Grenade ace?
Ace of space.
Utility ace.
Just 5 nade kills.
Maybe. Or Molotovs.
All right, that could be a thing.
Yeah.
5 utility kills. Ooh. Let's start it off with the first one. Now they didn't even do any damage.
And
that
they've used
didn't
a lot
work
of
out at
nades.
all.
But they only have USBs, right? The force buy in the second round Fnatic didn't come through, so now they just have to take this save to respect that. And KD continues to mop towards outside with that Mac 10. He'll find another kill. And oh, the spray transfer. Well, it wasn't even needed to spray transfer. It just held the trigger down. Just, they walked into it. Clean and easy. Nothing to fret about there for North in the 3rd round of the game. And now it gets interesting. The guns come out. Twist will be on the AWP for Fnatic on this CT side early. Has some armor, nades behind it. And everybody with head armor besides Brolan and Crims on that CT side. No defuse kits in play, just to note. So if we do get to a post-plant scenario, time will become a big issue, a big factor. Is it another fast in play? No. Want to head towards ramp early.
Brolan flashed off to spray a little bit with the AUG. So they know that he was up close, but he's got all the time in the world to rotate off it. In fact, they want to challenge him. Smart to play on the ramp. If he thinks he's going to be challenged, if he thinks there's people up close, he plays it to bait them in. And Twist is rotated over, so this is decent movement from Fnatic. I have to say, tough position to be in outside of the doorway, firing the earliest. But you're right, Twist is here long before they would have expected. And already you can see the other 2 just back off. Oh, hang on. Let's not go directly into the fire.
Oh, they did have him trapped for a second there. But now they're in limbo, and this is one of the worst positions to be in on the T side, unless Jules are offered up like that.
That's frustrating. JW thought he was on. He was just to the right. He was clipping the edge of the door frame. It's one of those ones where you kind of know you're off, but your muscles tense, and you're like, just keep shooting into work.
It's committed at that point, and now there is a door open because there's still 50 seconds left on the clock. They might be able to catch off Twist here, because if the timing works out like this for AZ, I'm not saying it's a free kill by any means, but now Twist is stuck between a rock and a hard place. You have to worry about 2 angles. If he gets torn at any point or pushes forward too far, AZ wins this duel every day of the week. Oh, This could be the timing. Volder, if he looks away at any given moment. Exactly. He's been haunted a couple of times.
Oh, I thought he was going to get the second on the repeat twist. Bomb went down for a moment, but AZ got a 1-on-2. They know where he is. That's easy. But he doesn't know where they are because he walks in and Crims is waiting behind the vent. Gives fnatic their first round on the CT side. Keep in mind this is the same or similar start to what we had on Mirage. North won the first 3, and then fnatic had a chance to turn things around quickly on the CT side.
Yeah, only having 2 players survive there. We'll have to drop some guns across, but should be able to get a decent enough buy. Looks like we've got a FAMAS and a UMP on the board right now. The other 3 members are going to have the appropriate rifles. The T's have got a full buy. KdTV will have the AWP. AZ, we've seen him buying that Krieg several times, especially on that first map, so maybe he's been mastering that spam. But now we'll go back to normality. It'll just be the outside wall of smokes. There'll only be 1 player over towards lobby, which is KdTV with AWP. Normally you expect him to see on the outside side, and the 4 rifles are going to make their way quickly down secret. So this comes down to the rotation right now of fnatic. How do they deal with this? And it's the UMP on site, so it's going to be very hard for Twist to deal with this alone. He's going to play a passive angle, let them come up a little bit closer.
Flash over, Twist. Meanwhile, is down below. That nade's going to bounce, and it follows up with a headshot. Without the nade, I don't think the UMP does that.
Oh my god.
It does the same damage, but not the kill from that range, and he follows it to get Gade. Crims outside, finds KdTV. AZ and KRB left alone. Money is left low. Not so low that it's out of the realms of possibility to force in the next round. I'll come back to that because they're going to get 1,900. But this is Twist just absolutely menacing them from the stairwell. And again, the bomb went down in that position because of it. So he just has to hold on. Or rather, they have to hold on. He's gone down. He's done his job. But KRB's tensing up with 44 seconds.
He needs to just get as many kills as he can. This round feels pretty much unwinnable at this point. But if he can draw out 1 or 2 more kills and continue to keep that money of fnatic honest, don't worry about it. That point goes out the window now because that was a relatively clean round.
And I was going to suggest that they could force in this if they kept 1 gun. But KRB decided to take the fight. He's got enough. So too does KdTV. But the others are just shy of the mark. So we'll see what the call is going to be with that bonus continuing to build up. It'll only be 2,400 in the next round, and they won't have any residual if they buy. So yeah, they elect to keep the, I guess, upgraded pistols. Shouldn't say keep the pistols, but slightly upgrade them.
Just to note, where that bomb was dropped after Twist's first kill, it was kind of in limbo, right? Because as you have to come over the crest there, where, you know, Twist can have the angle on you, it's just a headshot angle for him. It gets really awkward, so the T's don't know when they're overcommitting. Oh. Ooh.
Speaking of awkward, he would have seen the door opening as he was releasing it. Somehow Crims recovers. Good step back. Pistols couldn't do much, and he had some support inside of the site. They've only lost Exist, but you are absolutely right. Volder has done them all.
That's a win in my books.
You did keep your standards pretty low. Decontamination, pistol shots, trying for that headshot position, but won't get it. But you're right. It is a win for what it's worth because they'll get the money for it. And that means now the $2,400 on top of the residual they had gets an additional $800, which means they get enough money to go ahead and buy and bring out utility. See how that all works?
And also on the side of fnatic, if we're keeping accountants tabs and we're going to go get our bachelor's degrees, fnatic, they've been able to keep 4 alive in the last 2 rounds, so they have a decent enough economy to get a gun round together, probably in the next 2, depending on how expensive they want to go with their purchases. So right now, going into round number 7, scoreline 3-3, tied things up here. fnatic have bounced back very well. This looks like a hard top play right here. Nades and flashes coming out through Squeaky and AZ. He's going to vent dive straight on down, so this is about how they play the rotation and how fnatic want to deal with him in the backlines. Early, they're not too worried about it. And if you know he's dropped, that's not necessarily a bad thing. If everybody's aware of the position, the fact that it could be open to a flank and they mitigate it, we didn't actually see how that went on down. But Brolan gets the better of AZ here very early in the round. And that man who was meant to cause all the issues has been dealt with. So now North need to hope that the other 4, they can stick to the game plan. What's the utility being used from this squeaky door position? I guess it's a longer duel, so they want KdTV to go for picks. And now KRB, he decides he has to get some action done. Ooh, could have a timing here where Twist Up Ladder might not have seen him. So this could be perfect. It could be an opening. You get ladder position. That's a key piece of the map to have up your sleeve.
Where is Twist burning from? It has to, yeah, okay, so it's behind the silos.
Are they aware of ladder?
It has to be a Molotov.
They're not aware of ladder. There's no one there.
Well, that's, I think, because of the utility, because they pushed him off of it. And then all of a sudden, KRB is behind them while they're occupied on the floor. Gade gets taken down. They still managed to turn it around. fnatic's going to win it out. That was very, very close for a moment. I think that was Was Twist on the floor when the Molotov came in, or was he already up above?
I think that he was pivoting from ladder, so if the Molotov landed top ladder, he decided to play in front of it in case of a top execute. That opened the door for Kyobi to come around with good timing and take ladder control, and the call would have been made. Twist like, I can't hold ladder, and you could see the rotation come up. The player who was there to pick up the slack, unable to get anything done because he's stuck in no man's land. But North, with that loss,
I mean, ultimately, if that's what was done and that's where he was playing, then it worked.
yeah, and
but
that's a perfect
they just
little
didn't
play.
win the round.
Yeah, so the idea was fantastic. I would love to go back and be able to see how that played on out because I'm not sure where the Molotov would have come from.
It could have come through Skylight.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is that it was a Skylight throw. I didn't actually catch the full setup on it because I was watching the transition down below. But this is an interesting point to make, because if that actually worked and now you lose the round, they call a timeout. They're obviously reconsidering things. They were that
But
close.
It worked, yeah.
Exactly. So sometimes you can think, well, it didn't. Even though the intention of it did, you just didn't follow through.
Yeah, and if that's a move that they made on the fly there because AZ's gone down, maybe their intention wasn't to actually go towards the top side. It might have been to do a ramp split. It could have been to do anything. So we're not quite sure where they wanted to go with that, but at least they know that avenue is possible now for AZ to get down the vent based off of their spawns, the way that the protocol nades are being used from Fnatic. It's going to be a bit of a mix buy coming in right here. They forced on him, but it's a lot more pressure towards Yard. And Twist, he's in trouble.
Oh, no. Desperate to get that
This is so
incendiary
quick.
down, but they're already through it. Yeah, this is incredibly quick. This is what we said about North. We know they're decent on the map. Problem is, they just aren't winning the fights. They'll win the trade. If Alda gets JW down, that'll open up the stairwell. And KRB's still holding off. Broland might be aware of it because he knows they were outside. It is all on exist. Decent. Excuse me, that's upstairs behind the box. I thought he was downstairs behind New. So I was going to say decent position. It could still be if they bring that bomb back around, but I highly doubt they will. AZ's already got ramp. They've already got secret. Why don't we just agree to meet at the emergency rally point on B?
So if we remember back to that phase game that we were casting on Dust 2, there was a couple of bailout rounds that came from North when they were on those low pistol buys. They threw the Xbox smoke from spawn, and then they rushed Cat with every single one of their players. And they had a routine of nades that would flashes that would get them onto the bomb site. Here was another quick round where they did a similar thing, right? It was a low buy. They used their, I guess, the fact that they could be a lot more mobile with those weapons to their advantage, got up close and personal, found some opening kills. That made them a lot of room, and in the chaos, they're able to get a lot of kills. So they have these well-drilled strategies that they run with. They obviously do their dry runs, right? Mythic coming in, they've given them a bit of strategic life. It's clear because you can see that in their gameplay. And they're trying to go for a team-heavy style of CS. So if they can, win a key round like that every now and again on the T side of Nuke, they're already up to 4. How many do we want to give them, right? If they can get up to 6, that's a victory. 6 T-side rounds on Nuke, you're pretty happy with that one. It's going to be curious to see how many they can post from now. If Exist gets a chance to hold on his AWP, he definitely will. Nobody is hunting towards his position in the CT spawn. And he's going to get that one dropped across to Twist, who, after being punished in the previous round, he needs it. His money is looking a little bit grim. But not too many problems here. As Fnatic, if they can stabilize right now, have a bit of a back-and-forth nature, then we might be in a position where we go toe for toe, and the retakes have to come in at some point, right? Because Fnatic can only give away so many CT rounds.
Yeah, absolutely so.
Sounds like NIP fans. They're not playing yet, guys.
It's all right, they're coming. We still got Swedes in the house. 4 in a row, and then North back into it. This would still apply to a normal bonus situation because it was 4 in a row. There hasn't been any T-side rounds, but this is where what I was kind of crafting comes into play.
Sure.
They win 1, they'll go back down to a $2,400 bonus. If they lose this, they still get back into it sooner than they would otherwise than a full reset.
Especially if they plant in this situation, right?
Even better, yeah.
So if they plant, then they're going to have enough money on the board to go for a buy, and they can continue to apply pressure. And it also depends on how many players from Fnatic they kill. If you're keeping them down to 2 members alive time and time again, you know that you can keep buying. Well, this is the deep wall.
And obviously that money situation exists on every map, so why am I highlighting it? Because on Nuke, obviously T-sided rounds are so much more crucial.
Yeah.
And it's more common that you win them sparsely and get reset.
Oh, I really like this. This is unusual take here. They've actually... This is fantastic.
He was fully blinded. He got lucky not to be spotted in turn, JW, but Twist gets both from range. JW went down, but that was good enough. Even though he went down, he got damage in, and he took the aggro away to give Twist a chance to reset his shot. He's going to have to do it again, expecting company. KdTV's going to go above him again. He's been playing this outside position quite well. Man down this time, however. So you're right, that is an adaptation from Fnatic. They're trying to hold off this wrap that's been so successful.
He's got it again.
I thought KdTV looked toward Locker. He has it again. But they still have to be so worried about outside. If KdTV gets caught off now, they're almost done because Exist held well to catch KRB, and I think that they were still prepared for that eventuality, even if he wrapped through ramp at that point in time.
Well, there's only 18 seconds left, and it looks like KdTV wants to hustle towards the lower bomb site, which means AZ needs to be able to get there as quick as possible to open up a kill here. KdTV has no choice but to run to the bomb site. He can't stop to clear corners. He just needs to be fast, and now that AZ's fallen, the bomb's still going to go down, so that's the plus side we were looking for. If he gets a kill in this situation, maybe we see a buy in the next. That's one. Only two more, and Brolan's low.
KdTV swinging around. He's still waiting it. They know he's at the door. He's blown it out because he wants to use it to his advantage. They're not on it. And they haven't checked all the way into the corner. They might think he's further back on the stairs. This is buying further time for KdTV.
He's done
now
that.
He can get back out to get the diffuser. Even Mither's impressed with that. And it's 5. Still, though, for fnatic, they got the diffuse off.
That round is great. Sure, it ended in a clutch, but I want to geek out over something else here. That strat from North, I haven't seen something like it. Maybe I've missed it. Maybe I haven't been watching enough Nuke games, but they've done a wall smoke to get them across to Warehouse. There was actually a third smoke that covered off the Warehouse door so that they could actually flash and then have their two players pop out from either side, using that smoke to open up more avenues to pick towards Heaven, to pick towards the player holding towards CT box. The trades didn't go in their favor, but I'm loving how creative it is from North. They're really doing a bit of a different approach here as they go and fake this hard top. Maybe they want to go back for a double pump later, but Brolan aggressive ramp. This is really dicey by him here. Able to get one. Not going to get away. Missed in the smoke once more, and now Twist.
Oh, I had no idea. That's good
all over him.
Good movement from Gade.
Yeah.
He was on the scope. He was not going to be looking at the top of the box. That would be out of his range of vision or field of view, shall we say. To stick more with the standard phrasing.
Yeah, so
one at a time, lads.
What they did was, in that round, they threw the top fake, right? They threw a bunch of nades in, they blew open Squeaky, they threw nades into main. Kirby's just going to mop up here, see if they can take this gun away from Crimson. They've broken the economy situation for fnatic right here. But what was cool about that round was they kept them honest towards top, because you're going to have at least 3 players gravitate towards that, right? When you see all the nades coming in, we knew that fnatic were on a lower buy situation. The shotgun was his Exist hands. He was completely blind. He was actually standing in a Molotov for a period of time. They're calling flashes top or I'm blind, or there's a lot of confusion going on at that point. Brolan's gone for an aggressive play towards ramp, thinking I need to get to top side as quickly as possible to help them lock this down. He got one. He actually had the possibility to get more, but players have gone through the smoke. So very swift and decisive movements from North in these rounds is making it difficult for fnatic to be able to react accordingly.
Every StarSeries they've attended, they've made the playoffs. That's not too bad at all. Never champions for North, but they've been there every time on the stage. Yeah, nice to be in a stage event in China. Get some crowd out here. I haven't got to, obviously at IM Shanghai, we had one. We were in the back room, though, and it was at a bigger event. It was a different atmosphere. So it's nice to be in front of a CS strictly crowd, because there's a lot of passers-by.
It's definitely CS fans as well, because we can see jerseys out there. This is a force buy right now from fnatic, considering the money situation.
One of them even knew the correct way to pronounce your name.
Yeah.
He said, Sidukistan Sponge, can I get a picture?
Oh, yeah, great. One of them was at Face It in London. He said he was there and saw us for an autograph when we did our session.
Nice.
So getting all over the place. This is a really important round right for fnatic. If they can use this force buy and actually get it on the board, then they have a real chance to make sure they can be competitive in this half and go round for round. But if they lose this, it starts to get a little bit more difficult. A lot of pressure applied, and North taking it slow for once. The faster rounds has been what's working for them, so let's see how this slower approach goes. They want to work over here and try and pick off Brolan towards ramp. That smoke is going to be out, allow them to pick on his position. Flashes and nades force him back off the line. It's going to be a late top split here, I think.
Exist waits inside of smoke once more. That'll work out. And they'll work right around directly behind Tetris as to where JW's playing. Emerging from the vents at lower, though, Twist. Ballsy to go up that ladder position when they're all above it, but they weren't expecting him, and he did it in such grace. But you're right, there's just nothing else they can do. So there's just the weapons for North, and fnatic helplessly trying to defend themselves. They've conceded the lead, and they're on the CT side. So North showing why they chose this map. Again, it's in your top left under the radar. Inferno is the third map if required. Might be.
The HUD in here actually has the picks as well, so we get a bit of a different HUD in the arena.
They've also got a different lower third with the name and info.
Yeah, the money's on the lower third.
I like the money being on the lower third, but I like ours a little more because it gives you color on the player name, which is easier for your eye to see, and it gives the whole name, which is a nice touch. It's also, theirs doesn't have a nice rectangle. We're perfectly rectangular.
That's true. Another thing to note is this should just be a bit of an eco mop. Sure. Oh, okay. Wait.
Twist.
I'm speaking a little bit too soon.
Yeah. Bomb plant still coming in, and AK's, no, it's not. It will now. Twist got another on that?
Yeah, Volde was low behind the vent.
He actually got him. If KRB hadn't committed to the plants early, had he anticipated that they were going to push through, he would have been able to save his teammate, but he did the right thing. Smoke down. You've got to take advantage of the cloud, of that conceal, the time you have to plant the bomb. Molotov missed. That means Twist has a chance. Excuse me, Twist was upper, so it wasn't even the player pushing through the smoke. There was nothing KRB could have done. But now he's going to wrap back around, hold off for Broland. Missed Molotov means they can't plant again, and KRB's going to bail. That's the right call to try and beat them to lower. And AZ just waiting to see if Twist will follow in tow by jumping through the site. He could go back down the ladder and go to a ramp. Keep that in mind. Bomb is planted. AZ just waiting. Twist is making a lot of noise.
Wait,
They've lost
the defuse.
AZ's got to run. AZ has to run. He's going to call that because he knows now they're upstairs, and he gets caught off. They're going to win this.
That's a miracle round right there.
JW knew it as soon as he killed him. And Twist peeked just to confirm it. The second kill was excellent.
What a huge round from Twist there. 3 with the USP. Okay, so I was about to sing the praises in that round of North, saying that they were constantly setting this precedent. Look at this. We're getting the replay of him killing all 3. Just taking these jewels. They're having opportunities to kill him. He doesn't have head armor. He just has the USP. That's the starter pistol. Oh, my God.
That's a needed round, though, for fnatic, if I'm honest.
Massive impact right there. But they need to string it together, right? They need to make sure that they can put multiple on the board here.
2-1. Yeah, money's not great on either side, is it? So that does crack things open. North might be able to string together a bye next round either way, but fnatic are desperate to win this one.
Yeah, about the top nades, right? Because North have been doing it quite a lot. It's almost like they were conditioning that site. Here's that strat again. So watch for this. See that third smoke right there on Twist's screen over towards the warehouse? They're going to scuttle across. Oh, they've changed it up. They're going straight to the main.
He's lucky there's 2 smokes there. That reload could have cost JW so much. But he got back through the second one, and they weren't confident pushing through, knowing that there would be a second CT waiting for their arrival, and certainly Crims was. He'll get in position on top of the hut once more. Oh, open door. JW wants to smoke it off.
Gade's coming ladder as well. So much territory right now. This is great stuff from North.
Very good at opening up outside. Curious to see how the rotations are CT side, because that used to be a strength for North way back with a different lineup. Twist, though, he reads it because they have done that time and time again. And with the smokes down towards Squeaky, he had the room to do so. So they go 2 men down. Bomb. It waits at lobby. KRB will grab it now. Twist is dropped. KRB takes out JW. They're making this closer and closer, but unfortunately, they don't have the HP to really complement that effort. Vold is trying to desperately get one taps from up above as a result of it because he wants to play the ledge in his favorite. He has to get aggressive now, has to open up his full body, knows they're inside a hut. Even wall bangs in, that's going to work. Down to a 2-on-2, but Brolin catches the bomb, and that might be enough to force Volde from hiding, and Crims catches him in the meantime to take him lower still. 25 HP. He still runs him down. Brolin can run. There's 7 seconds. There's no time for a plant. It's done as of right now.
Going to hold on to that AK. But this is what we're talking about, keeping the money low, right? So the fact that they did win that full eco round before, that gave them an opportunity to go for a really expensive buy right there. But you can see here, JW's the only one with money. Broland can drop, potentially can drop 2 depending on what he wants to drop them. So they will be able to get the buy because 2 players did have a surplus of income, but 3 of them were sitting around that 3K mark. So by North making that one a very expensive operation, fnatic have to manage their money. Get the buyout. Twist has the AWP again. Let's see if they go for one of these quirky strats again. Straight out hard. It's going to be fast top here. Nades and flashes come in. They put out the Molotov. They're already in the site. Crims on top of the hut. He's grabbed one. Twist will grab another. And they're getting on top of these trades here. fnatic now eventually putting up the wall. Finally putting stop to being dictated to by North every single round. Sure, they're finding opening kills, but here we go. He's warmed up. He's locked him out. Now Gade, 1-on-4 situation. In the hut any second now, and Crims will finish that one off. Great round from him, and fnatic win the half. They've guaranteed themselves 8 rounds.
He's just resting.
Just resting?
He was just resting, just sleeping. He's having a snooze.
I haven't mastered sleeping with my eyes open yet.
Dries your eyes out a lot.
Sleeping with your eyes open?
There was a guy on my hockey team that used to do it, and we used to
That's
have to.
weird.
We'd have to wake him and like tell him to close his eyes because his eyes would hurt when he woke up.
Wait, he was doing it on purpose?
No, but he just did. Like, I know that's the thing. So we'd wake him because it would only happen after he was asleep for a bit.
Okay.
So if we were on like a bus, he would fall asleep with his eyes closed, and then at some point he would just like have a dream or something, and I don't know. They would just open, and we'd be like, "Yo, you gotta wake him up, let him start again."
Sure.
Start over.
Wonder if
Because
he
his eyes would get so dry.
put like iPads on him or something. That'd be weird.
I don't know, maybe. Because that would force your eyelashes to kick in and you'd shut them for protection, right, if something was touching them?
But you'd probably wake up as well.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But if you had it on from the start.
Yeah, that could be a way to do it. All right, last round here from North, and they've had to force buy into this. Let's see if they can do something creative again, because I've really loved the diversity of their T side here. Something to probably go back and take a look at. They go for an outside approach this time around. JW has actually gone across the secret, so he's in a great position ready to receive. We do have Gade, KD, and Valde ready to posture towards outside. AZ and Kirby in towards the lobby. So here's the outside smokes again. I really hope somebody breaks this down afterwards, because I'm loving this. Hopefully I'm not missing the boat. Otherwise, the clip it meme comes true yet again.
JW, Molotov down, forced back inside of Secret, meaning that he can't challenge outside, meaning that Twist now has to be fully aware. In fact, never mind that. JW wants to re-peek before the flames are gone so that he thinks he can get a jump on them, and instead, all four of them run him over.
Brolan's already under. This could be huge from the youngster.
Could be. He's got great position. I love catwalk position CT side at this point. Post plant as well. Just no vent access. It's much harder to clear it. And he's going to play it against the wall. Decon can't see him from here either. They've got to swing in the sight. That gives him time to reset the aim even if they go left. He's got two already bombed down. They'll try and spray through, but he can just run forward, in fact, rather than off to the left where he's visible. Meanwhile, Exist trying to do what he can. In fact, wants to just get away. I thought he would just take the battle and hold him off, but he doesn't need to. He knows his teammates are already in a good position, so why overcommit? Why give anything away? Twist on the AWP, even finding a kill down toward the double doors, and it's AZ with nothing really left in this fight. No, 9-6. fnatic was down 6-5, and they win with just the pistols on the back of Twist getting 3 kills. That turned the half for them and makes this winnable, because if they went down any further than that on the CT side, I don't really think that they had much in this argument.
Yeah, and topping the scoreboards right now with 16 kills. The frag leader for the entire server, and then Crim's in at number 2. On the other side of things, it's Kirby, followed closely by KD and Valde, both on 11 kills each. So really, just to note, you are bang on. That impact of that one round, that USP round, that has shaped the half to allow fnatic to get the 9 rounds on the board. Otherwise, it could have been a 9-6 in the favor of North. So you have to be pretty happy with that. I'm going to see the buy coming in right now. Twist. Ooh. Okay, Matt, something interesting is probably going to come out here. There's a lot of utility bought in by fnatic. 3 HEs are bought out. A smoke, 3 flashes. Dropped the P250 to Brolan and Crims, which tells me they want to take those towards the yard position to take some jewels. Those nades, I wonder where they're going to look to use those. They've all been dispelled early to keep the player out of main, so that means... Oh, I was going to say he might fight towards outside, but it doesn't matter. He battles forward, he'll get traded out, and now Crims and Brolan have got position with these P250s.
Twist still just sits back in lobby, wanting to make sure that no one's going to push through and catch him off. Shots out, Brolan. Can be doing everything he can in his power to just take precautions in his fight, but make sure they can't get by towards Secret without some exchange. Remember, he has already tagged. He's down to 61. But there it is. There's the headshot. The USP potential shown off. And he spotted the second player as well, so he'll know that one went lower. It's Crims. He's already toward control room, however, so that means that even though they know they've gone down there, they haven't rotated in necessarily as quick as they needed to. Crims gets one back as a result. Exist, the second man in, went down, and low HP. Cleaned up. North finds 7. And again, this goes back to fnatic finding 9 in the first half. If they hadn't, this could start to be a runaway with the second pistol now going north side.
Yeah, and to note in the first half, fnatic actually went for the force buy back to try and triangle the economy in their favor. But at the moment, at least with 9 seconds left of freeze time, they're deciding just to stay with the Glocks.
3 out of 4 pistols now go north way in this series.
So with not even a flashbang bought on in by fnatic, I would say there's 1 or 2 options for them. Sit back and wait out the utility from north to be dispelled across the map. The protocol grenades, the smokes, the flashes, the molotovs. and then try and swarm and grab one kill, see if you can get a player down the van or get that bomb down, because that's going to be the best thing you can do with these Glocks in play. Sure, they did win a full USP round before, but full Glocks. I need the soundboard on hand for that one. Oh, Nate is not going to go as far as it could have. Could have done a lot of damage right there, but...
Hey, man, here's a run boost. I swear it's fine. It'll get you away from their aim. All right, see, dude.
It's almost like skeet shooting at that point, right?
Throw him in.
Yeah.
Do you remember that map, Lead Ski?
Yeah, I was talking about this, I think when I was doing WSG with Trace, we were talking about it.
It sucked when you missed the shots and like you're like, oh god, here he comes.
It was
he
like one CT, right, who had the AWP, and everybody else would get...
The ones I played were like, there was a few because there was so many players in the server.
Sure.
But there would be like 15 Ts to like 5 CTs or whatever.
And trying to overwhelm them and take the guns out of their hands.
Well, that's what the pistols are trying to do right now, but it's not working. The Glocks falling victim to Volda as it is now, even with the USP through the edge of the smoke, having already done the damage. And they'll find Exist to keep all 5 alive, the 2 AUGs and the 3 UMPs. Bring it to within 1, 9-8. But now the AK has come up. So what's the call? 2 AUGs are certainly sufficient, AUG especially outside. You've got 3 UMPs.
Well, they've changed some guns around. Volda had a UMP, but he's thrown that over towards
And I think that's
KdTV,
positional.
I believe.
That's Volda wants the range, right? So this is the point. They've got the rifles. They don't need to overinvest. Sometimes you want to and take the fight more squarely, but it's kind of a bonus round.
Yeah, well, they've got the utility on their side for locking down the choke points, right? The Molotovs, flashbangs, etc. Or they might have a strategy in mind. You know, when you're holding these weapons, it used to be, back in the day, you'd go for an aggressive push. And well, it feels like they're just doing standard here. Cadian's holding ramps. They've actually rotated Volda all the way down through Secret. So he's the pivot man. He went ramp to under, and he's going to come up Secret any moment to take the duel towards outside. Kirby's up close to the red. But luckily, fnatic come top.
Twist does get Gade down. Oh. Not before he found one, but Exist is there to complement. Cadian's backed off of upper. He's completely given it away. Good find from Volda on the AUG. That denies the bomb for a moment further. Kirby's got to swing all the way back in through main, but smoke there for now will soon dissipate. I think that was actually just thrown, so there's probably about another 10 seconds on this, which buys time into the post plant as well. And it means the rotation from Cadian has to go all the way around through lobby because, again, he dropped down off of heaven.
Because this is a bonus round map, maybe North will just go for exit here to take the guns away from fnatic, knowing they can buy into the next round regardless. So it doesn't feel like they're posturing to go for this. It feels like they're just trying to grab players who are waiting for these pushes, and the timing here might be the enemy of JW, and Cadian gets the better. I'm going to throw nades out towards the site now. They can accelerate this pace. One-on-one, bomb's too far gone at this point.
It's still a good bonus round. If you get every gun down and you've got money left over, Broland's got a SIG as well, SG, so he wants to get away. Kirby stays alive as well with the AUG. That's the one gun you'd want to carry over if you could choose. And it might be Doomsday. That's kind of like the dun-dun-dun face. So it's it could be Doomsday for fnatic as a result.
Yeah, so I can see the buy right now. Twist was the only one with enough money. Broland can drop an AK across. Then for Exist and Crims, they have less money. So they're either going to have to go for a situation where... Okay, so they've got a Galil for Exist, and JW's gone on the UMP. They've been able to get an AK dropped from Broland, and Twist could buy one of his own. So they're looking pretty good. Obviously, the buy is better on the side of North right now. Nades towards the top side. Let's see if they could... Oh, I think the goal was to maybe get JW down the vent. It still is. He's going to go through the smoke, an absolute madman. Damage likely done to Crims in the meantime from AZ's warm spam, but they've achieved the goal. It wasn't instant, but JW makes it down nonetheless, and now they're setting up the wall smokes towards outside. So by having JW in this forward position early, he can control this rotation. He can find out what they're actually covering off, and then it's going to give his teammates an easier avenue to come to the lower bomb site with this smoke wall they've thrown out late. Curiously enough, just trying to see if I can find the rotation right now. Volda is playing on that catwalk position, similar to what we saw Broland do towards the end of the first half. So they have to clear him out of this position. Let's see what protocol nades fnatic have for dealing with this lower bomb site.
Volda just holding it out behind the silo lower on the catwalk. That was toward control room.
Cadian just had come down ramp, so that's 2 huge kills for him to find.
Yeah, and now he knows, oh, he was going back up to check his back. He realized that was clear. And goes back around again to find the bomb. A fourth. Could he get a double ace? Another chance for one. All 5 still alive on his team. We'll see if he can get there first because JW knows where that bomb is heading in that direction. Cadian swings down. He's got it. 2 aces in 1 game for Cadian, and he's up to 9 for North.
One was against an eco. Bit of a bash for stats right there. But this one, that's a huge one to go for. The entire lower bomb site was Fnatic's for the taking. They had control of window. JW was in the vent, stopping any rotations in that position. He was the first guy lower, the last guy to die. So you can see that he wasn't able to find any success there, and just these passive positions we can see on the railing that have been taken from North were more than enough. So I thought that they would have been able to... Oh, he's happy with that one, isn't he? The fight's in him on this map. There's definitely a bit more fight.
I think he's looked a little better this event too, KD, because I've been critical of him in the in-game leading and opping role.
Sure.
It's a tough role to play both, and he's, coming in after MSL was there. MSL certainly had some structure to the team that changed quite a bit, and KDN's in-game leading was under question. So it's good to see him finding his feet. He's still got them in this round. It's KRB that's lost them instead today, JW, and they try to go fast with these pistols. That's natural at this point in time. It exists, at least gets the AUG to work with, but that's taken back immediately. Smartly so. They went back to that position to check it. Not only that, they have the bomb down. So round over at this point in time. JW trying to do damage. Double dink. Gate and AZ. They both don't die. That doesn't matter then, does it?
So with KdTV's 2 aces in this game, he's up to 21 kills. So in 2 rounds alone, he was able to grab a total of 10, 11 across the remainder. Twist leading the way still, 18 kills to his name. Crim's on 14. You're seeing right now the frag leaders on your screen. Entry kills 2 for 2, so that's the opening frags. Either could be CT or T-sided, so merely where the opening kill had gone in the early stages. And now we're back underway. Broland's going to be on that Krieg again. And this time they want to go for an outside swarm, a close play yard, and Kirby's actually going to get the better of Broland with the crisp of the smoke.
Zist is still battling it, but the nades are going in his direction. AZ's the one that's the most weak, shall we say, at this point, most injured from the exchange, but gets away, and they have the man advantage. More importantly, they have JW pushing up as a result of it. All that action outside, all of that utility, Kirby gets through hot. They pushed everywhere. No one's got, fnatic has so much to work with.
Yeah, this is done.
Kirby got back around just barely by JW, but they've got so much information, and Kirby gets past him to find Exist.
The thing is, with still a minute left, JW could come up the ladder behind him if he's not ready for this. Twist just has to stay alive in this situation. But
yeah, you say not ready. I just looked at the other stream. Yeah, there you go. We just switched to it. Kirby's staring at it.
He's repositioned. He's ready and raring to go. So this does... Oh, that angle right there is filthy. The player coming up, if they want to jump up the...
Oh, yeah.
He's not going to see him at all.
He can't see him. That's actually sick. This man's been DMing. Look, he didn't even know where it came from. Bomb as well. That's pretty awesome.
That's a gift, if
Super
anything.
situational position, but that is perfect from Kirby.
It's very rare that will ever come into play to see that one being used, but good awareness of Kirby in that situation to make that work. Fnatic now really need to get something going on their T side. They've only won 1 round here, and that's where they had the superior buy against the 3 UMPs. With a late topside hit, and I think the key kill in that topside hit was actually Exist from the hut position, killing the player in main. So Fnatic have invested into some CZ75s, a P250. They went top, but they're getting melted away here as sure they grab one onto AZ, but it's not enough to get the bomb down or allow them an avenue to even be competitive in this round. It just leaves Broland last alive, stuck back in towards the lobby position, hoping that they push him, hoping that they give him a couple of frags.
Rolled it. Swinging, trying to find out where the last man is. Again, I mentioned it, Inferno if needed. It's looking more and more likely at this point in time. Fnatic only so far able to get 1 round on the T side, and that was the bonus round. That was when North played with 3 UMPs. Even then it came to a 1-on-1, in fact. Those were all there in the end. Not a bad view of looking at it. Broland just appears out of nowhere. Surprise! But KdTV's still alive, even despite that. No, close him down. Kirby will go get the kill instead. So 12 now for North.
Yeah, and they're in a very good position at this point because those rounds have been relatively clean. We've got multiple players who were above 10K before this buy came in. Now with it completed, it is still Gate at 10K flat, and Kirby just above at 10,550. Everybody else hovering around that 6K plus mark. Having that loss bonus maxed on out now by Fnatic, they get an opportunity to build the bank of the lost rounds, but they need to start getting some on the board as we are at round number 23, the business end of the game. Once again, early nade damage coming in from North. Crims is going to be tagged down to 70 points of health, and he's been kind of left to his own devices to set the pace. They're going to do a late smoke wall, and they're not going to get it completely extinguished. So you could see the Molotov exchange trying to be scissor, paper, rock there on Yard. The mind games of the utility, and still getting the better with Vol there, popping his head up, taking down Crims, and that's a big scalp to take as Crims, the highest rated player for fnatic in the tournament before this series kicked on off.
Just thought he had room to work with. Really with a no man's land, and the panic set in when the shots came through the edge of the smoke from Secret. Leaves Twist in a similar position with nowhere to go. AZ finding him as well. W on 2 HP, but Broland makes space for that. Problem is the bomb. Still down at the main yard, and they've got 2 people watching it if you include AZ. He's not directly looking at it, but he certainly has the angle to swing, and they've got Secret. Double peek toward Broland. They knew he was already up toward Heaven. It's 13 for North.
Yeah, the key thing that North were able to do on their T side was make a lot of space to make the mid-rounds really messy. fnatic had to watch a lot of different angles. They weren't sure what was open. That's when the communication really comes into play. And when you've done your contingencies of where to rotate when different parts of the map have been taken, and they're doing different strategies, they're doing more unique plays, either really quick stuff or using smokes differently, then you have to adapt on the fly. You have to hope that everybody's on board and communicating perfectly. So fnatic will take a timeout here. They're going to talk through their options. Jumpy, you can see him exchanging on your screen there, back and forth with Exist on what they need to do. But it's clear that they're not finding room. They're losing opening picks. Maybe if they change up the pace, they might be able to get into this, but North are playing very much as a pack. Whenever any, I guess, utility or exchanges are going down early on the map, they have multiple members, they're ready. So a fake to one position, trying to sneak some players down in another, could be a way that fnatic want to approach it, but they've gone for another pistol upgrade, so it feels like they're most likely going to concede 14 rounds and then have to fight their way back into this game. And then, look, okay, this is unique. This is another interesting execute. Some deep smokes over there. That's going to cover off towards window. Probably one over towards the ladder position from the roof as well, and the smoke wall to get them yard control at least. So they might try and pounce through these smokes once they get close.
Where does he look? Has to get the timing right, or does he? Because AZ gets a gap in the smoke that saves him. Turns it around to find Broland. 3 for him in the rounds. W down. 14 for North. They're just controlling it at this point in time. KdTV leads the way with the 2 aces on 22 total. That's 10 from 2 rounds, though, so 12 otherwise. Not to knock on him. That's still is what it is. I mean, he's got 22. But there's been a few more multi-kills, I think, out of AZ and Kjaerbye. Gade and Volda just seem to be going up about business more consistently across the board.
The desk was talking during that segment about if this does go to a third, I know Pimp was on board, that things start to swing in the favor of North a little bit because of the amount of teamwork, the utility usage, the being well drilled, being a key factor on a map like Inferno. We still need to get there, but things are looking very good for North right now.
Interesting discussion to be said for Impact. I'll come back to it. Push from KdTV, and that's peculiar with an AWP. As JW was waiting on the other side, it gives the information to Gade. He's able to get the trade off of it. Hold from Kjaerbye. Broland walking straight into it. They're not able to control outside quite nearly the same way North were.
Yeah, North don't seem to fall back when those smokes come in. They're happy to stay close so the territory can't be taken away. You know, right there, AZ had the kill, which set Kjaerbye up for the second frag because the player walking into his line of sight had to look in the other direction. Now we have a 2-on-4 situation, a minute left on the clock, and fnatic really need this. They have Twist and Exist alive. They have a smoke, flash, and a Molotov between them, and going close within the vents will be Twist using this as a shotgun. Going to peek on out towards Decon from that position, and he's left his teammates. So they're taking the potential for one-on-one duels here in this lower bomb site. Volda in the side himself. Spotted him off. Twist knows that he's close.
Yeah, it's bad timing to open the door. He actually had to take a shot, but right choice to go for the utility instead. They've actually opened it back up with Twist. Working with Exist. Door shut. Opened immediately after. They knew he was close because he was immediately on the other side. Went safely with the silo in between 15 seconds. Unfortunately, Twist is down, so he's got one to at least give Exist a better chance. There might exist a Twist in this round. Nearly got the shot toward the door. And Kjaerbye is the last alive, but that's good enough to find map point for North.
Twist made that one possible there. Some heroic kills in the AWP, but it wasn't to be enough. Exist only grabbing his 9th kill of the game right there. If he had won that clutch, then that may have made up for his Low frag charts.
The point I was going to make about impact and the argument you could have with it, if you just looked at the score sheet and the scores, you would say, geez, KD in 22, good game, great game. Not that it isn't, but sometimes there's more to it, right? If you get 2 aces, and both of those aces, one was against an eco where everyone else was still alive.
Sure.
And the second was against guns, but everyone else was still alive. That's to say his aces didn't have as much. He got 5 kills.
Sure.
But there was other players that would have probably picked it up and won out the rounds. You could argue the first 3 would have been the impact, right?
Yeah.
So then you take those back, and you're down to more like a 12-14 impact kills. And then you get guys like Gade that aren't getting a lot of multis, but they're getting them in every round, so he's contributing more to the wins. There's a lot more to it than that. It's the multi-kills that I really like, and I think KRB, again, has looked solid. In fact, Ty's now KD at the top, and he's looking for more outside. He'll do exactly that. And Vold is the other one that seems to be consistently finding multi-kill rounds when he gets them. It's not like he's getting them every round, but when he gets 1, he typically gets 2.
I think this is all she wrote for Fnatic on Nuke.
Crims gets KD down. Speaking of, but again, Vold is the one to trade it. KRB holding outside, finds a second in the rounds. He'll fall to Twist in the end. It's 1-on-3, but this should be Inferno pretty much secured. He's got the bomb. That does give him a chance at it, with a minute to play with as well. But they're slowly pursuing angles to trap him outside, so they backed off main entrance, and there it is, Volda, his second again. So both the 2 I mentioned, double kills to close it out, and 16-10 for North. We're back to 1-1 apiece.
Yeah, we had some series during the group stage for a lot of teams where they were losing their own map pick and then having to win their opponents. This time around, a bit of normality restored the first game, a bit of a trouncing for North as they lost